Okay, so let's say you've got an image here in Photoshop and you need to take away the background. You need to isolate the background so it's a complete white background. And it's almost there. It's all white, but there's a little bit of a problem. Like in this image here, there's a mannequin in the way. We need to cut around the dress. So how can we cut precisely around the dress? The quickest and best way I know how to do this is using the layer mask tool. And it's right here. This is the layer mask. Add layer mask. We can click that and all of a sudden, look at that, we've got a new layer mask, and with the paintbrush and it's set to black and white, we can just now paint away the object, as long as you have a white background behind it. In this case here, we're just actually painting to nothing. We're erasing the image, but we have a white background underneath. And if you mess up, or if you do too many steps and you can't undo, instead of the eraser, we hit X, which switches our foreground and background color, and we can just paint back the skirt. Look at that. Cool. So that's how layer mask works. Now, here's a little problem that comes up using the layer mask. So what will happen is you'll be cutting away, no problem. Let's have this selected, cutting away, and you'll come to an issue like this. Oh, okay, my brush can't quite fit in that corner. Look at that. What am I going to do? I'm going to say that was good. Cough. So we can't get in there. Look at that. So a solution would be, let's just decrease our brush size. Let's come in really small. Look at that. Yeah, we can now get in that corner. But now we've got a problem. You can kind of see here, it's a little bit hard to notice, but if you look carefully, what's happened is our brush hardness has changed. The softness, hardness of the brush is changed, and it's like, well, how did that happen? I only changed the size. What is that? Here's the little thing that many people might not notice, is that the hardness is, look, written in a percentage. It's not a pixel format, so it's not written in pixels, which means it's, as you change the brush size, it's changing the hardness. It's 60% of a 30 pixel brush, right? So now the hardness is different. Now that's a problem, because we get these problems here where the hardness is not what you expected. So how do we solve this? How do we get a nice clean cut? The way to solve it is to use the same hardness throughout the whole cut, or throughout the whole image in this case. So what we want to do is select a brush size that we want to choose, okay, the correct brush size and the correct hardness. So let's go 30 and 60, okay, and let's start our cutting. So cut, cut, cut. If we make a mistake like that, we can just remove it. Right, so we can cut up to the image and we just go over it. Just go cut into it. And then we come in and cut this way. Look at that. So now you've got a right, oh, let's undo that. You've got a right angle cut using a round brush. I'll try and show you that again. Let's just fix that up. Okay, maybe on this side here. So as I cut in, you just cut over the dress. What you're really looking at is this edge. You're cutting across this edge here, cutting, 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 and once you get into that corner, then you cut down. So we can cut down this way. Now we're cutting this edge. Yeah, and we get a nice edge on it. And this also saves, so you don't have to change brush sizes all the time. You can just continually cut throughout the whole. You could cut around a whole object like this if you really wanted. Yeah, without changing the brush size. And there we go. We can get a nice cut without changing the hardness of the brush. That's the key point. Also, just another quick tip while you're doing something like this, if you ever need a straight edge on your brush, you click and hold shift and click again, it creates a brush stroke in a straight line. So you can get, you know, real straight cuts. Sometimes the object is exactly straight, and it's hard with the mouse to get it nice and evenly straight. So you can just cut and cut like that. Okay, so now once we're happy with, we can just cut something like that. Look at that, nice and straight. Cool. So once we're happy, we can now increase our brush size. Brush size. I can't even speak. Look at that, done and done. Because the edge doesn't matter on that there. And there we go, a nice clean cut around the corners into those little hard bits without changing our brush size.